If you've ever been curious about how to make meaning of your marks, in today's video, I'll be sharing an ink and collage mandala, as well as mindful art making tips and information that I use to help make meaning of my marks. Today is day 3 of 5 in our mandala art challenge, and our prompt for today is vibrant. So if you're just now joining us, there is a free downloadable workbook below. I invite you to download that to get all of the details about the challenge. And I'm going to share more information here as I make my mindful mandala today. I hope that some of this information inspires your own art making. You can definitely leave whatever does not serve you or does not inspire your own creative muse. And so for today's prompt, Vibrant, I felt really drawn to using ink and collage because of the contrast, but also those pops of color that I could explore without needing to use paint and having to wait for it to dry. And part of that limitation for the 5-day challenge is to give us an incentive to create every day, even when we don't have a lot of time. And many of you have been commenting over on Instagram and in the comments that once you start creating these mindful mandalas, that you've been doing them for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. And I've had the same experience, and what tends to happen is once you begin, if you have the time, many times we're in a really good creative flow, so we just keep going. But sometimes we only have 5 minutes, and that's absolutely okay. Sometimes we have 1 minute to doodle on a page. And so just to give yourself some compassion around however much time you do have right now, and with this mandala challenge, we're exploring largely, or at least I'm exploring, abstract art and intuitive mark making. And part of why I really love this practice, especially in a circular shape in the mandala, is for a couple of reasons, and it's related also to making meaning of our marks. So when we create and it's not quite so literal, the mind, my mind, I notice, can then make other choices about what certain colors or patterns paired up together might mean. That is a bit easier to create my own meaning compared to if I, let's say, was using words from a collage magazine, or if I was working directly with a specific photograph of a person, etc. The other thing I love about working in a circle is that you can rotate the page as you're working, which is great for abstract compositions, but also to see it from a different bird's eye view and perspective. And many times I notice, sometimes I see an entirely new mandala when I rotate it to a quarter or halfway. And the other thing that I notice is I'll see different shapes or symbols, or I'll feel a different way depending on how the mandala is facing. And that is really important, I think, as part of my deeper meaning making process. So after I create my mindful mandalas, for me, I always do one of my writing processes that I have to dive deeper. And these are, sometimes they're 3 steps or 4 steps. They're usually done anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. And it's some of the best ways that I've found with my mindful art making that I can make deeper meaning of my marks and my art. So I'll mention more of that in a bit, but for right now, one thing I'm exploring right now in this ink and collage mandala is simplicity and space. And I'm choosing to mirror some of the collage shapes and that I have there with the lines, but I'm also choosing to leave it spacious, and that also can contrast with that heavy color from the orange and the purple on that left-hand side. So depending on how you normally make your art or your mixed media or your collage or ink drawings or paintings, whatever form you usually work in, if you tend to fill the whole space, I invite you to be curious around what happens if you leave more negative space, or if you tend to make the same shape or pattern over and over again, what would it be like to introduce its opposite or something slightly different? A lot of time what I do is I'll look around my room. I have an orchid right by my desk. I love orchids and they're always near me. And I find that the organic shape tends to come into my drawings and paintings as well. So I mentioned my 3 or 4-step writing process to make meaning of your marks. That is included in 2 of my courses, which are currently on sale as part of the live challenge. So you can see that in the description box below if you're curious. I hope you'll join us again tomorrow for day 4 of our Mandala Art Challenge. I'll be sharing more tips and inspiration to help you create daily at home.